Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Underdeveloped here, and today we have another movie reaction for you. This time it is for Smile 2, the sequel to Smile to Smile. And this one was directed by, yet again, Parker Finn. He made the first one. He got big for directing a couple, not big, but he made a couple horror shorts. So it seemed like his resume doesn't really extend beyond horror.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much his thing.
In terms of features, it's just this and the first Smile.
Yep. And and the cast of this movie, Naomi Scott, as the lead. She plays Sky Riley, and she is from movies like Charlie's Angels, the reboot, which wasn't that good, Aladdin,
Power Rangers.
There's a bunch of
Bunch
big,
of really-
high budget duds, in my opinion.
Yes, that's
Well,
exactly
at least
what she's
Aladdin
been
made
doing.
a lot of money, and I heard they're trying to do a sequel. God help us all. And Kyle Gallner, he's from the first one, but he is in the opening scene of this one. Mm-hmm. He's a big part of my childhood because he plays Impulse, aka the Flash, Bart Allen, in Smallville. Lukas Gage, Ray Nicholson, who's also the grandson or son of Jack Nicholson. Gelula, Rosemarie DeWitt, Raul Castillo, Peter Jacobson, Miles Gutierrez, and Drew Barrymore does make a
cameo, yeah.
Okay.
The story of Smile 2 gives us a very brief scene picking up after Smile 1 just to show us how the smile gets transferred from person to person in a very gritty little scene. But after that, we mostly focus on the real main plot featuring Sky Riley, who is this recovering drug addict. She's also a big pop star who had this horrible car crash a year ago that killed her boyfriend. And now this is her big comeback tour, and this is the worst possible time for her to go try to get some Viking from her dealer and get the smile. Wow, it's constantly gaslighting her, making her life hell while she's trying to run this tour, dealing the stress of both having a big press tour, trying to maintain your public image, and also everything in your life, just having all these schizophrenic like dreams and delusions around you, just totally driving you insane.
Yeah.
And that's basically the plot of the movie.
Pretty much kind of the first one, but just done better. Smile 2, this is the rare instance where the sequel absolutely towers over the first one.
Absolutely.
There's instances where the sequels are somewhat better, but not better by a whole bunch. Both good movies, but the second one just it's a little bit better, or around the same, and in most cases, a lot worse. Or even a lot worse. Because a lot of times they're just trying to copy what made the first one work so well. Because the first one comes out, it's original, it's unique, and the second one just copies that. Oh, they just made a lot of money, so let's just copy and double down, and it just becomes a shell of what the first movie was.
And that's what I was expecting out of this movie going into it, but I'm glad to have been wrong.
Because the first one wasn't good, so I'm thinking this one would be good. And the fucking trailer did not do a good job of making me feel this movie was going to be good at all.
Yeah, no, I was expecting more of the same. I thought the first movie was very bland. I was expecting more of the same, over-reliance to this dumb gimmick, no real interesting characters, but no, here, the gimmick is still there, but now we actually have very grounded, real characters that really bring all that stress to life. Like, they actually feel fleshed out, have good character arcs there. It's actually interesting to watch.
Yeah, Naomi Scott, honestly, I feel could be nominated for an Oscar, honestly.
I mean, she couldn't be because it's a horror movie and the Oscars are biased.
Yeah, very biased, very political, so of course not. But even maybe a MTV award or what's the other one?
Golden Globe?
Nah, Golden Globe is in pretty much the same bracket of the Oscars. MTV award, it could be People's Choice, a Teen's Choice, I don't know. But like one of those, at least an award. Saturn, I don't know, like a fucking award. She deserves something. She did great.
She does.
And other movies I didn't give a shit about that she's been in, so it was like, this one really made me respect her as a performer. Like, she actually, that's what it tells us, really a lot of times it's the script, it's not really the actor.
Yeah, it's about the script, it's about the director, it's about a lot of different things.
Yeah. A lot of times it's not necessarily about the director itself. You know what I mean? To me, I just get the vibes that Parker Finn just really took what the first one did and really try to improve it and make it a lot better and really get into it and correct things that he probably fucked up with the first one.
Yeah.
The first one was a success, but I mean, as a director, you still look at your work and like, this could have been better.
There's always room for improvement, and I'm glad he managed to find it, and he absolutely
very commendable. He made a better version of his original movie.
Yeah, very few directors that could say that of.
Very few.
The only other one that comes to mind is like Sam Raimi's Evil Dead 2 is basically Evil Dead 1 again, but better. That's the only thing I can think of that really compares.
Really cool.
Even then, Evil Dead 1 was a lot more interesting than Smile one was, so it's less impressive.
And Smile sort of gives you vibe of Beau's Afraid, because the main character and Beau's Afraid both kind of have this pretty much there's pretty much like the entire movie just in this nightmare sequence, just not being able to distinguish what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? And it's all tied to their inner turmoil and inner traumas coming out and working against them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's an excellent comparison.
Yeah, so it's like it really gave me I don't think it's as deep as Beau's Afraid, but it's in the same ballpark.
Yeah,
sure. It's like a little more commercial version of that movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a much more like commercial version for it.
Yeah,
much more like casual audience friendly.
For sure.
Also, you don't need to see the first Smile to really get Smile to. Very little from that movie really crosses over.
Yeah, I mean, well, in the beginning, Kyle Gallner, he's the main character. He's one of the main characters of the first one. He comes in. He's the one who has the smile and gives the smile away to the drug dealer that end up giving the smile to Sky Riley.
Yeah.
But that's the only real connective tissue, really.
Yeah. Even then, you don't really even need that context to appreciate it.
Because they actually explain in this movie what the whole deal is about.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they even do in the first one, which is pretty much is this paranormal demon come from wherever. Could be a cosmic
it's
thing.
It's this evil magical virus that will make you do all these evil shit.
Because basically what it is feeding off of you, and while it's feeding off of you, it's pretty much making you hallucinate, have these schizophrenic episodes. You know what I mean? And feed off your madness basically. And once it's fed for a couple of days and it did its job, it throws you out like trash. You know what I mean? It climbs into you and finishes the job and you kill yourself, which is what it really is the demon doing it. And then when someone sees you doing it with the smile on your face, it transfers.
Yep.
And it goes on and on.
And boy, did so many people get to see this one.
and Judson is pretty good because we got to see what it's like from the outside's perspective.
Yes.
Because how Sky Riley saw the drug dealer go insane is pretty much how everyone saw her while she had the fucking rest.
Yeah. I love those scenes. Like, they're just so tense. Like, this whole movie is very intense and stressful.
Yeah.
You really feel the stress of not only all this crazy shit happening, but also just the stress of trying to maintain this mass media tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you really don't know what's real and what's not, too. You really don't. Because
it makes you question everything.
Especially when it comes to her best friend, because she was involved in the movie for a long time, and it realized that she wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she wasn't there at all.
Which kind of makes sense, if you really look at the details, it's like, it actually gave you the hints right there, but Luke also played off as just something else. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make you jump to the conclusion immediately, and that's good writing. Because that's good concealing right there. You know what I mean?
He did a very good job gaslighting us, making sure we didn't guess the twist ahead of time.
It was well acted, great comedic timing, also great horror. Nice balance of actual dread and horror and comedy, because a lot of good comedic moments. You know, especially with the Voss water. She always had the down of Voss water, which is the compulsion to do drugs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or drink. You know what I mean? Like, and it's really funny. You know what I mean? Like, seeing this way she just goes that shit. It's hilarious. You know what I mean? And then also just like, she also has funny moments. The mother has funny moments. Her assistant has funny moments. Her best friend, she comes in with this white girl attitude, and it's hilarious. You know what I mean? She plays into it, and it's actually great comedic timing. Like, she talks about matcha. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a ha-ha, laugh out loud, but it's like, yo, it's actually used pretty well. This is humor used pretty well.
It's it's good comic relief that feels natural.
Yeah, exactly. It's not forced. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so, like, it had that going for it. I literally, actually, a couple times I actually jit a little bit, and that's usually uncommon when I'm watching movies, because these movies the jump scares don't really catch me, because I can anticipate them because I see enough movies to know, okay, this is that. So it's not scary movies to me, not really scary. But this one actually kind of caught me off guard like once or twice. It really actually did. So that's impressive. So we also managed to be kind of scary at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, it was really fucking solid. This is probably one of the best horrors, not even just of the year, just the entire 2020s.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Maybe even dip it into the 2010s.
Maybe within the last decade, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, if you go into the 1010s, then you got there are some good ones. Things I've never seen, but like I know The Witch is really good, Midsommar and Hereditary really good. So you're competing with some A24 shit. So
yeah, you would be.
Yeah, but even so, I think it still holds its own.
Yeah,
it's like one of the best Hollywood horrors in a long time.
Oh, definitely.
Because Hollywood horror is so gimmicky and it's so like bland, and they make a bunch of sequels that no one cares about. But this one, they actually, it's leaps and bounds better than all those kind of movies.
Yes, it is.
So if you're into horror, I mean, give this movie a fucking shot.
Yeah, if you want a nice horror movie to watch around the Halloween season, this is the one you should go with.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you only see one, this is the one I highly recommend you go see.
I had nothing bad to say about this movie. Like,
Neither do I.
Like, everything is there. It was interesting. Because it wasn't just about, like, just, a lot of times these horror films is just the person that's getting victimized the entire movie. But actually, after we learned about what this being is, they actually try to hatch a plan to defeat this being. And she really had a heroic moment trying to almost self-sacrifice herself to get rid of this thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But that ended up blowing up in the face, which just added so much dread to the movie. When it's like the beings always had her hooks. She never had a chance.
Never did.
Because it kind of deflates you because you really built up hope that she's strong enough to beat this demon. Mm-hmm. And so that she doesn't. The demon had that hooks into her so much.
Yeah.
And she just kills herself on the main fucking stage for everyone to see. Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Yeah.
That was dreadful.
I know that thing's going to be in my mind for a while.
Yeah. So it landed really well. It landed really well.
That did. With that being said, I can't give this movie any less than 90. It's just...
Yes, I agree. Same here. 90. This movie deserves a 90.
It does.
It's solid. Leaps and bounds better than Smile 1. Leaps and bounds. Way better. Give this movie a shot. This movie deserves to be watched. This movie deserves to make money. It is good.
Damn right. With that being said, folks, please hit that like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Support good movies in theaters.
Support good movies. Agreed. All right.
Okay, cool. That was a lot shorter.